So this is your Chapter 3 review video. Chapter 3 is all on inequalities. It's the same thing as solving equations. The only difference is if you divide or multiply by a fraction to solve, you have to turn your inequality symbol around. Okay? So A, with just addition and subtraction, find your variable, what's happening to the variable. You're adding 3. So the opposite of that is to subtract 3. So I get W is greater than 6. You can also graph this on a number line to represent it. If I put 6 here, let's go 7, and then let's go 5. I only ask you to do 3 numbers. If the symbol, the inequality symbol, doesn't have the equal sign bar under it, it's an open circle, and you shade all the numbers that are bigger than 6. So 7, 8, 9, 10, this way. Okay, so this could be your answer, depending on how they ask you for it, or this whole number line could be the answer. Number 6, find your variable. I'm adding 8, so the opposite of that is to subtract 8. I get negative 12 is less than t. You can leave it like that, or you can write t first. The big side's on the t, so the big side's going to have to be on the t over here. And then I get negative 12. I like it this way. I like the variable to always be on the left. Then if I draw my number line, I'm going to put negative 12, negative 11, and negative 13. Negative numbers go backwards, remember? So I'm going to put an open circle, and then I shade all the numbers that are bigger than negative 12. Then I'm sure you'll notice the arrow points this way, so I shaded this side. The arrow points this way, so I shaded this side. That works as long as your variable is on the left-hand side. Alright, now if I have to multiply or divide, that's the same unless I have to multiply or divide by a negative number. So I'm dividing by 3. To undo that, I'm going to multiply by 3. Since I multiplied by a positive number, this stays the same. 2 times 3 is 6. So y is less than or equal to 6. If I put that on a number line, I have to put a closed circle on 6, or a circle that's colored in. And then I shade all the numbers that are less than 6. B, I've got negative 17.1 m less than 23.8. I'm multiplying here, so I'm going to divide. So I get m. I divided by negative, so this needs to turn around. And then 23.8 divided by 17.1. 1.392 about. If I put that on a number line, I'm going to do 0, 1, 2, negative 1. 1.392, that is a little bit over 1 1/3. So I'm going to put an open circle around here somewhere. Then I'm going to shade all the numbers that are bigger than that. So that's this way. When you do a number line for decimals like that, you're just going to try to get as close to it as possible. Multi-step inequalities. You do the same thing as a multi-step equation. You just have to be careful about dividing and multiplying by a negative number. So find your y. First you're multiplying by this fraction, and then you're subtracting 6. So to undo that, you're going to add 6 first. And then I get negative 6/7 y greater than or equal to 48. And if I'm multiplying by a fraction, to undo that, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of this fraction is going to be negative 7/6. 7's cancel, 6's cancel, negative times negative is positive. I multiplied by a negative, so my inequality needs to turn around. How many times will 6 go into 48? 8 times. And what's 8 times 7? 56. So y is less than or equal to negative 56. Alright, B. I've got these parentheses in here. I need to get rid of those. The best way to do it is by the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute the 2. And I get 42w is greater than 2w plus 14. Got to get the w's on the same side, so I'm going to subtract 2w. And I get 40w greater than 14. I'm going to move this over here. I'm just going to rewrite it just like it said. Now to get w by itself, I need to divide by 40. Divided by 40 is 1, and I'm left with 1w. 14 divided by 40 is 0.35. Alright, sets and complements of sets. When I talk about set, I'm talking about a group of numbers. So I have this group here, and this is not even numbers, it could be a group of anything. And to represent that, I showed you some symbols. So I need you to tell me all the subsets of this set. And a subset is how many different ways you can choose stuff from the set. So the first thing I could do is I could say I don't want any of it. If I don't want any of it, then that's going to be called the empty set. Okay? I could choose one thing. I could either choose the @ symbol, or I could choose the plus sign, or I could choose the exclamation point. I could also say, you know what, I need two things. So I could choose the @ symbol and the plus sign. Or I could choose the plus sign and the exclamation point. Or I could choose the @ symbol and the exclamation point. And then the last thing I could choose is everything. I just need everything. So @ symbol, plus sign, exclamation point. And then count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know you have them all if you have 2 times 2 times 2. If there's 3 things, it's going to be 2 to the 3rd power number of subsets, so 8. If there's only 2 things, it's 2 squared. If there's 4 items in the set, it's 2 to the 4th. Okay, so that's a good way to check yourself. Alright, I have this universal set, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12. And then I have this set T. I want to know what is the complement of set T. So what this means, complement of T, that means what's not in T. If T has 8 and 12, then T complement is everything else. 2, 3, 5.